Halftime, 42-0 is the score. We go to Kaylee.
Well, Coach, Sunday you get shut out. 4 days later, you got 42 points on the board after the first half. What ignited this offense?
Well, just executing. That's what we talked about, and we've been trying to do all season, but we actually did in the first half, all 3 phases.
When you've got a lead like this, what did you tell your team about how they approach the second half?
Press the gas pedal even harder.
So it's 42-0. The Raiders are going to get the ball to start the second half. .283 yards for Vegas in that first half and only 89 for LA. Second half starts with a touchback. Now it's time for tonight's journey. It's presented by Hyundai. 42-point lead, largest Raiders halftime lead all time. It's the second largest in NFL history. No sacks tonight for the Chargers, who had 7 against O'Connell in that first game back in LA in week 4. 4 TD passes in the first half, most by any player this season for Aiden O'Connell. And he starts here with a handoff. And about a 2-yard gain that turns into a 5-yard gain for Zamir White.
I think the thing that stood out to I think a lot of people, including myself, would have been the play of that offensive line. I think coming into this game, Josh Jacobs is down tonight. You got Andre James, the starting center, and Colton Miller, the left tackle, out. So they reshuffled things up front. And you got Khalil Mack, and this Chargers defense, you said, had 7 sacks in week 4. And you're worried, are they going to be able to run the ball? Is Aiden O'Connell coming off a game where they didn't score any points going to be back there, and Mack's coming after him again? And man, it's been a completely different story.
2nd and 6, play action, pass caught, Adams over the middle, first down up to the 47-yard line. You know, it's interesting because the headline story in the sports section of the Review-Journal in Vegas today was who's going to be the quarterback in tonight's game. Some people thought maybe it would be Garoppolo.
Yeah, and when you come off a game where you get shut out, and really, let's face it, they've lost 3 in a row. This offense has just been reeling, and it's only natural to assume, you know, they're going to go back to Garoppolo, but you give Antonio Pierce and this offensive staff a lot of credit. You know, there are a lot of new faces out here that are being asked to do some things once they moved on from Josh McDaniels, and give them credit. They put together a good plan, and they've executed.
Perfect so far. Bouncing off tacklers, and all the way to the 38-yard line goes Zamir White.
Now, it's a combination here. Again, this offensive line continue to do a good job, and White, who I'm familiar with because of his days at Georgia, right guard pulls around, nice block, but I think you also have to add that the Chargers just not getting off of blocks. That started to become something we saw from about the early part of the second quarter on, and clearly is continuing here into the second half.
Play action. Moving to his left, buying time, pass incomplete. Intended for Jacoby Myers. Covered that time by Michael Davis. 2nd down and 10 for the Raiders.
Keep in mind, he was sacked 7 times, 6 times alone by Khalil Mack. First time they matched up. This time Mack ends up going inside and instead of outside, and that's what allowed him to kind of have that half roll away from where Mack was. Good job not only by the left tackle Munford, but you saw Johnson, the fullback, also get involved. The whole key is keep 52 out, make someone else rush the quarterback, and it's worked. He's had all kinds of time.
They've done a great job of that tonight on every level. That pass is incomplete and dropped by Austin Hooper.
You know, after those 6 sacks in the first matchup, we thought, okay, now you got Munford on him, and Munford, you know, he's not played a ton. He's moved around from the right side to the left side, and Munford's done a heck of a job. You know, the second-year pro out of Ohio State hasn't had a lot of help. You know, and I think the circumstances, having plus territory, throwing the ball in some early downs has really been smart. It's been a nice plan, and Aiden O'Connell looks like he's very comfortable with the attack tonight.
3rd and 10. Keep it on the ground. To the 33-yard line goes Abdullah, and then you got a flag coming in at the end of the play. A little jawing going on there with Davis and Abdullah. Ron Torbert ready to make the call.
Abdullah came up grabbing his face mask. I mean, we couldn't see it. There it is right there. Justin Hollins.
Yeah, that's the discussion right now. You can see the motion by the officials. Torbert discussing it.
Personal foul, face mask. Defense, number 56. Penalty 15 yards from the end of the play. Automatic first down. Good call. Good call, Nate. Correction, it's number 58.
There you go.
Number 58 on the face mask.
Yeah, it's 58. It's Justin Hollins. And that moves the ball to the 18-yard line. So without Jacobs tonight, the Raiders have rushed for 100 yards. Little fake to the right side, and then he does go that way. He goes to Myers, and that'll set up a first down and goal at the 7-yard line.
You know, for those of you keeping score at home, this is the worst rushing offense in the NFL, and they're over to 100 yards running the ball against this Chargers defense. And when you run the football, it allows O'Connell to have the play action opportunities, and they continue to try to mix it up and do a good job on 1st and 10 and trying to just get the ball out.
It's the worst, you know, rushing situation, as you say, and without
Jacobs. And a line that's reshuffled.
1st and goal. O'Connell caught. That'll take it to about the 4-yard line as Zamir White makes that catch. 2nd down and goal.
This is where you really, you know, I think Antonio Pierce, he's not letting up. 42-0. In his mind, it's 0-0. You know, don't forget that he's looking at this as an opportunity to showcase what he can do as a head coach, keep his team going, staying aggressive. It really tests you as a pro, doesn't it? I mean, it really.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you find out what you're made out of. And it's a tough set of circumstances for the Chargers just to continue to go out there like this.
Second and goal. Myers is going to throw. Touchdown. Davante Adams hauls it in. So Jacoby Myers, no stranger to throwing the ball. High school quarterback, did it very often and with great success in New England. Touchdown number 7 for the Raiders.
Yeah, he went on that orbit motion earlier when he threw it, but he came from the left. This time he comes from the right. And I love to watch the job that Davante Adams did in selling that. Yeah, you're right. He looks so comfortable, and it's obvious with his background of being a quarterback. Doesn't panic, doesn't hurry. Baited the defender, made him come to him. Felt threatened that he may just run it in. Pulled the defender to him, and Adams is all alone. You know, 42 throwing a wide receiver pass.
Hey, I know. Raiders should be, well, what can I tell you? The Chargers should be yelling mercy on this Thursday night. Raiders enjoying every second of it. Chargers get the ball. This is Davis. To the 22-yard line, we go to Kaylee.
Well, guys, we were surprised when we showed up to Raiders practice yesterday and Davante Adams was nowhere to be found. He told me it was because he couldn't get out of bed yesterday until about 6 p.m. And anybody who's got kids can relate to how this story unfolded. He said his 2 daughters, who were both under 4, just got over having the flu, and it hit him next. He said it took IVs, vitamins, hydration, all of it to get him back on the field tonight. But you would never know how bad he said he was feeling yesterday by the way he's been playing tonight.
Yeah, we may take some of that stuff too. 7 catches for 94 yards and a touchdown. Meanwhile, getting free is Joshua Palmer. And finally, something good happens for the Chargers. Josh Palmer, 79 yards. After missing 5 games and hanging his head is Robertson.
Well, Robertson shaking his head. It just looked like he and the safety just not on the same page. Here's the corner right here, and see 5 motioning out. I think that creates a little bit of confusion by motioning him to the outside. You see Robertson, you see him look into the inside, wondering where that safety support might be. And for the first time all night, the Chargers are able to make a big play offensively.
So second touchdown pass of 6 career, threw one last week. Meanwhile, the extra point is just barely good off the foot of Cameron Dicker. 49-7. So the Raiders, of course, the monster was from Al Davis.
I was here 9 years, and until we really looked at it, I had forgotten you got to really go back to Rich Gannon when it comes to quarterback play, when the Raiders have had some postseason success. It's 20 years ago.
Yep, Gannon was the MVP of the regular season that year and goes to the playoffs. They get to the Super Bowl, played in San Diego, and that's the year that John Gruden had been traded to Tampa Bay. Gruden had had the team for 4 years. Bill Callahan takes over. Callahan gets the team to the Super Bowl. But what happens? They face Tampa Bay, and John Gruden lifts the Lombardi Trophy. Meanwhile, in terms of the drafts as well, it's been tough. Since 16, you got Joseph and Conley both out of the league. Miller's a starter, but he's hurt tonight, not playing. You got Ruggs and Arnett out of the NFL. Wilson's a rookie, so not a lot of success when it comes to first-round picks over the last several seasons.
No, it's been a disaster. I mean, you look at these guys, a lot of these guys, it's not that they're on different teams. They're out of, look at how many of them are out of the league. And you're talking about not mid-round or late-round picks. These are back 6 or 7 years ago.
Nice the mic. Monday. Easy. 6 is the mic. 6 is the mic. Monday.
From the 25. On the ground. Picking up about 4 yards.
I think it's because when I see that Raiders uniform, I still think of John Madden, and I think of some of the great teams with Marcus Allen. And when I looked and I saw that they've been in 2 playoff games since that Super Bowl, Jim Plunkett. I mean, you think of some of those great teams here. It's remarkable to think that that's all they've had in 20 years, 2 playoff appearances.
No question. In the 90s weren't that good. This Fred Biletnikoff. Nice chat with the great wide receiver before the game tonight. Second down and 6 here.
Let's go.
Gain of a couple. You know, you think of so many people. You think Kenny Stabler, Darryl Lamonica, the Mad Bomber.
I think of Lester Hayes and the stick.
Of course.
I mean, that was great. That time in that era.
How long do you think it took Lester Hayes to clean up after a game? That stuff wasn't not easy to wash off. 3rd down and 4. This is a franchise that started in the AFL in 1960, moved to LA, went back to Oakland, and now here. 3rd and 4. Stepping up, but taken down finally in the backfield is Eric Kendricks, able to knock him down as he tried to escape on his 4th down.
Well, this is set up by Kenneth Murray. Watch what he does and just taking, almost like setting a pick on this pass protection, and it allows Kendricks to come off of his guy and eventually get that blitz. That's partners working together bring in both the middle linebackers, occupy that left guard, frees up Kendricks, and you get the sack.
Cole to punt, his third boot, line drive kick. Bouncing. Picked up inside the 10-yard line by Davis. Smothered. .8:13 remaining in the third in Las Vegas.
No, but I know when to get up and go to bed.
Yes.
I'm good at that.
Like as soon as we get back to the hotel. From the 10-yard line, Easton Stick throws it to the outside. Here's Eckler, no place to really go. Run out by Diablo at that point, second down.
Darius Davis had a rough night. The rookie out of TCU returning punts. He had to fumble deep in his own territory. This time, he puts him in a tough spot here.
Well, that last punt by Cole, who leads the league in net, that won't hurt either. 65 yards and no return. And an 83-yarder, which resulted in a touchback last week. Second down and 6. So set up a third down and 5. Eckler gain of 1.
Let's lock in on 98 here. Now they'll move him around from time to time, but a lot of times obviously he's set up to the offense's right, coming off the edge. See if the Chargers on this third down are going to chip or double team him or leave Pipkins on an island.
Halfway mark of the third. Sick throws, caught, but short of the first down. Palmer cannot get free. Tackled there by Jack Jones. Punt group comes in.
So I said, let's watch 98. Watch this move of Pipkins to the inside and then the spin move off of that. I mean, it's just unfair. Dips inside, gets the big tackle who's 320 pounds inside off balance, and then spins out of that. And he doesn't come up with a sack, but he forces the ball out quick, and it's just as useful. Man, that guy is great.
Scott, his 5th punt of the night. High booming kick. Fair catch called for, made the 21-yard line by DeAndre Carter with 6.5 to go. Still mathematically alive. 30 teams still mathematically alive this late into the season. Zamir White picks up about 5. So the playoff picture as it looks right now in the American Conference. Baltimore, Miami, Kansas City, and Jacksonville division leaders at the season stopped right now. Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and Indianapolis would be in as wild cards. Only the top seed gets a bye.
What a race to see who's going to get that #1 overall seed in the AFC. I mean, don't forget Miami and Baltimore play each other in Kansas City. Look who they have left to go. There's a good chance they win their last 4 games.
Good. Pressure. Meanwhile, in the other conference, that time the pressure was put on by Austin Johnson. NFC, you've got San Francisco and Dallas right now, and Detroit and Tampa Bay. Despite a 6-7 mark, you got the Eagles, the Vikings, and the Packers would all go to the playoffs if the season ended right now.
How about that NFC South? Seems like every year it's like that, right? And
again,
yeah, and we have the Saints next week in Los Angeles against the Rams.
Right. Saints, I think, have the Giants coming up this week. Rams have Washington at home. Third down and 5 here. Connell throws. It's caught. It's going to be a first down there. Michael Mayer scored a touchdown earlier. Makes his 4th catch of the night.
It's a guy that even as a freshman in college, he looked about like that. I mean, he showed up about 245, 250 pounds. He was just one of those guys that for 3 years in South Bend, just you thought, okay, wait, where's he going to go into the NFL? And now that he's had a chance to get used to this system and get used to the speed, and I think the complexity of NFL defenses seems to be really trending in a great direction within this offensive structure. And with Jacoby Myers and Devontae Adams, he's a real weapon in the middle.
O'Connell rolling, keeps his eyes downfield. That's incomplete. I see a guy wearing number 87 for the Raiders.
Casper.
Dave Casper.
Yeah.
The ghost. Ghost to the post. The holy roller. mean, you think about these two teams through the years. Speaking of that, Mark Titleman and Pierre Musa calling it right up for us. What took you guys so long? Stabler back the pass, end of the game against San Diego.
Were you calling this game?
No. I was in my bassinet for this game.
Okay.
A little fumble there, and then the ball is moved forward and winds up in the hands of Casper for the touchdown, and created a rules change.
He kicked that ball about 10 yards.
Leave it to the Raiders in those years. But that stopped the forward fumble.
Yeah, I think it started with Stabler really at the beginning of that play.
It did.
I figured you and Malibu Kelly Hayes were all over that one.
Absolutely.
George Hill, the whole crew.
Yeah, we've seen a few, but not that one. 3rd and 8.
6 is the mic. 45's down.
God, this kid for a rookie, such great command.
Looking sharp, throws, caught, short, first down, short of the first down, as Amir Abdullah makes that grab, and it's 4th down.
I think, they're going to punt it away, which is fine. At this point, it's meaningless. But I think you can just go back to the development of this young guy, and Antonio Pierce telling us, he still needs to learn to pull the trigger and learn that you got to check it down. If it's don't take the sack, check it down. Don't worry about always having to make a play. And I think the only way you learn that is you go through that as a young quarterback. And I think this has been a great night for number 4.
Cole's punt. Bouncing out of bounds. That won't help his gross average here. Short punt.
Trey Tucker for a touchdown. You can see him frustrated at times, and you can see these numbers: 6 receptions, 105 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's just in the first half tonight. So that's our next gen stats powered by AWS.
On the outside, gain of about 5 before Isaiah Spiller is bumped out of bounds. 2nd down. Each team coming in 5 wins, 8 losses, mentioned at the very top. Chargers, minds of many, thought to be Super Bowl contenders. The Raiders not quite thought that highly of, but thought, they brought Garoppolo in. They had the Russian champion in Jacobs, but not to be. 2nd down and 5. Stick throws. It's caught just about at the line to gain. Never tries to get free. See where they spot it. Down just coming in. Looks to be a skosh short.
See that body language from Everett. I mean, this is players who are obviously very frustrated with the season, with the night. A lot of different things. You can see it from Spiller when he went out of bounds. You see it from Everett there.
Look at that. 1 for 25 on 3rd and 4th down over the last 2 games. And finally,
move those sticks
quickly. No flags. 1st down. 2 minutes left in the 3rd. And that's almost unbelievable. Dean Spanos, he's had some good times and some very frustrating times, and tonight obviously is of the latter category. From the 31. Shoots it out here to Eckler. Breaks a tackle. Turns it into a nice run, and that should be a 1st down before he's tackled by Bilal Nichols.
Patrick Graham told me last night, just talking to him about the matchup, he had gotten the news that Keenan Allen was out of the game, and he said, before, when I thought Keenan Allen was in the game, he said everything's going to run with a young quarterback, everything's going to run through him. Then they find out Keenan Allen's out, and he said, listen, I know Eckler's not had a great year, but now we got to lock in on 30. Not so much just the running game, but him catching the ball out of the backfield. We haven't seen a ton of it tonight, but that was the focus, is make someone besides 30 beat us.
Yeah, they have locked in on him. Meanwhile, stick deep downfield, too deep and incomplete. Down there was Quentin Johnson. He was the #1 pick, the rookie out of TCU, but he has not had a good year to this point.
And if you look at these receivers, there's just there's not a lot of production tonight. I know you got a young quarterback, and you get down early and becomes obvious what the play calling is. But I think they were hoping Palmer. I know he had the big touchdown play where they busted in coverage, but just have not without Keenan Allen. Just there's no one really to turn to on the outside. With Mike Williams, who went down earlier in the year.
Right, very early in the season too. I mean, every team's had their share of injuries as Joshua Kelly is banged into the bench, takes a couple of the chain gang guys with him. It'll be 3rd down and 4. They've also, Joey Bosa's another guy we have, again, that's on the defensive side.
Yeah.
Then minus him. Talk about Williams. There's Justin Herbert, done for the season. They'll get no sympathy from any other team, though. I mean, every time
everybody's banged up.
Game.
Yeah, everybody's banged up.
Totally at this point. Final minute of the period. Stick throws, and that's caught. And that'll be a 1st down. So Guyton is there. So after they were 1 for 25 on 3rd and 4th, they pick up back-to-back 3rd down conversions.
And then that time you saw Stick get back, and even it's 3rd down, I think he had a good idea based on the coverage that he saw where he wanted to go with the ball and get it out quickly.
No huddle here. Stick looking. Look out from behind. And the ball is out. It's going to be ruled. It's alive and going to the end zone right now for what is ruled a touchdown is John Jenkins. He was popped by Malcolm Kuntz, who's had a gigantic night. That's going to end the quarter. Obviously, all scoring plays reviewed.
The bottom line is that Kuntz continues to give the left tackle, Rashawn Slater, a tough time, which, again, I think all the attention's on the other side with Max Crosby, but instead it's the effort of Kuntz. It's the effort of not giving up on that play, and he comes up with that big sack. You could see that Stick tries to avoid Crosby and doesn't even see Kuntz, who comes all the way around to knock that ball loose. And how about the big fella Jenkins, a nose guard, coming up with a touchdown?
Came in the back door. So Jenkins, a 34-year-old defensive tackle, 11th year in the league. Came from Miami, started every game. End of the 3rd, 56-7 Vegas.
Defensive tackle. I wonder how many times in his entire career he's picked up a fumble and had a chance to run it that far for a touchdown. He's still tickled down there.
First season as a Raider, last 2 years with the Dolphins. Check him out again here.
Yeah, this is great because we're going to show the speed of what he's doing. Crosby forces Stick to step up, and then Kuntz comes around and ends up dislodging the ball. And here's the big man right here. He gets his hands on it. He sees a goal line in front of him. 14.
Popped by Malcolm, who's had a gigantic night.
And I know that go with the ball. Tyreek Hill goes 22 or 23. He's going through the whole story of what he just did. Put your treadmill at 17 miles an hour to make you appreciate what Big John Jenkins just did.
Not as fast as Tyreek, but faster than Benny Hill. Loss here, and a Butler makes that tackle. Downstairs. Kaylee, what you got?
Guys, I think everybody in a Raiders uniform or wearing black and silver on the sidelines has made their way over to Jenkins to love up on him and help him celebrate that moment. A couple of the guys were yelling, "We got to check the GPS. Check the GPS. You had to be going 20." They're going to be disappointed when I tell him he didn't hit 20 miles per hour, but man, they thought he might have.
17.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not terrible.
And didn't need a pit stop. Meanwhile, Will Clapp, the center, is now down in an injury timeout in Vegas. Well, this agonizing night for the Chargers continues as Will Clapp needs to be assisted off the field on the cart. Remember, Corey Linsley was their starting center early in the season. He went on IR. Clapp has come in to start 10. And now you got Brendan Hymus, number 64. He comes in to take that spot.
Yeah, that was a big loss for this offensive line. Linsley, one of the top centers, out after 3 games.
The 2nd down and 13. Oh, baby. Unbelievable. Jack Jones. They do it again. I mean, there are bad dreams, and there are crazy bad dreams. And for the Chargers, it's been that kind of a night.
I tell you, Jack Jones, who plays a lot more man, he just read this. When Eckler went in motion, he must have seen this in a short week, and he knew exactly what was coming. This is unbelievable. It's like he was in the huddle. Look at him jumping. He reacts quicker than anybody from the offense. It's like he knew that with that motion, this is the play they run to get it to Thurday, and he said, not on my watch. He just stepped right in front of it, one-hands it, and walks into the end zone.
Most points the Raiders have ever scored. 63, and you have 14 and a half minutes left in the game. Most points the Chargers have ever given up.
Remember, Jack Jones, he's a guy that has had to battle through. He was let go by the Pats. He's picked up here by Antonio Pierce, who coached him in high school at Long Beach Poly and at Arizona State. Believes in him, gives him another chance and another opportunity. And at Easton Stick, nothing he could do there. As soon as he read that, saw the formation, saw that pre-snap motion, it was a good indicator for him to jump it, and man, did he.
If you think, all right, Herbert's out, you put Stick in, who's the backup? The backup is a guy, Max Duggan, who's a rookie out of TCU, who was second to Caleb Williams in the Heisman balloting last year, but he was just elevated from the practice squad. He hasn't played a lick.
Well, right now there's just not a lot of options for this Chargers team, and at this point, obviously, other than just getting reps, it obviously doesn't matter.
Yeah. Meanwhile, they just put up the graphic that we told you about, 63 points, the most ever in Raiders history, and that's the reason for the crowd. With
14:31 to go, all they need is 10 more for the NFL record.
Oy.
Only 10.
Only right one. No problem.
It's just a big celebration. This is a team that was shut out last week against the Vikings. Tonight, a very different story for Devontae Adams, Jack Jones, the entire Raiders team.
Chargers 5 turnovers and burned after every one of them. Spiller. Remember Mills Lane, the great referee?
Sure do.
Yep. He would come in and go, referee stops contest. He'd wave it off right now. Second and 9.
It's like Diablo is down.
Yeah, Divine Diablo.
Man, that's taking advantage of takeaway, right? I mean, that's pretty good percentages.
Oh,
5 takeaways, 5 touchdowns. So you go from one game where you just want to hide from everybody to the complete opposite end of the spectrum if you're a Raiders. And now it's the Chargers.
Well, as we said, going to commercial off the scene set, it's the NFL where anything happens.
That's why they have all these big buildings out here. It's impossible to predict what's going to happen.
Ain't that the truth?
First Charge timeout of the half. Las Vegas.
Next week.
This is a 30-second timeout.
Home game.
Yeah. Hey, how about that?
Yeah.
The Saints and the Rams. Rams trying to hang in that playoff hunt. They're there right now, trying to get to 500 if they beat Washington this week. And we'll kick it off next week at 8:15, pregame at 7 o'clock Eastern from SoFi. Allegiant Stadium. Well, Vegas has become a sports mecca. Remember, this is the home of, who would have ever believed it, the Stanley Cup champions.
Yeah, and they've been good pretty much from the jump.
Get-go.
Yeah.
Yeah, beneficiaries of a very lucrative expansion draft. Speaking of that, the Spiller. So you got the Golden Knights. This town loves They're champions, Stanley Cup champions. We got the Raiders relocated here in 20 when they built the stadium. Grand Prix was held here recently in November. The Aces, owned by Davis, 2 championships. Super Bowl will be played here in February. The A's are moving here. New stadium open in 2028. And a guarantee on the NBA outlook, they in Seattle will be the next expansion franchises in all likelihood. Stick throws, it's caught. And taking a pop right there is Stone Smart.
Isn't it amazing how far professional sports have come with this city?
Sure.
I mean, it was taboo. You wouldn't want to talk about it. You wouldn't want to even think about,
yep,
you know, sports gambling and professional sports and everything that it's associated with. You never would have ever envisioned there'd be franchises here, and now
it's totally embraced.
Everybody's coming in.
Totally embraced.
Yep.
Moving ahead is Joshua Kelly. So the Chargers will go home. Their next game is a Saturday game against Buffalo. Then they go to Denver, and they end up at home against Kansas City. Ain't easy. What a night for that guy. 241 yards, 4 touchdowns. I think he has secured the starting spot. 2nd and 9. Reversing directions up to the 41. Meanwhile, the remaining schedules, as we say right there, Chargers, Buffalo, at Denver, Kansas City. Meanwhile, the Raiders go to Kansas City, go to Indianapolis, and with Denver right here.
And realistically, their only chance, it's a great night, but their only chance is they're probably going to have to sweep the 3 remaining games that they have, and then need some help.
Yep. Sitting
there at 9 and 8.
And it's tougher in the AFC too. The AFC, you know, very heavy in terms of the dominant teams this year. The NFC's a different story. Stick. Gets out, runs, slides to a stop at the 48-yard line, 1st down.
Told you his legs would be a factor.
Yeah, eventually. Only took 48 minutes.
I mean, that's what I thought we would see tonight, is his ability to improvise and scramble and try to get 1st downs. Very different from what you're used to seeing with Justin Herbert, but as we know, this game got away from him and his Chargers team in a hurry. Down 21-0 in the 1st quarter.
Stick shoots it out. Juggle, incomplete, never had control of it. Asterius Davis hit there by Tyler Hall. Man, this crowd smells blood.
Yeah, they're not letting up, just like the Raiders team is.
Not at all. Like the Roman Coliseum right now. Second and 10. Caught, running his way. Eckler, he picks up a 1st down. You know, we talked about the backup quarterbacks and O'Connell having a super night. You go back to Monday night, Tommy DeVito. You go back to Will Levis at Tennessee, and they got O'Connell.
Yeah, and you could go to Jake Browning. I mean, it looked like Cincinnati was done after Joe Burrow went down. He has the big game in Jacksonville and follows it up with another win last week. So, you know, I think there's a premium on depth on offensive line play in the NFL, and obviously that backup quarterback.
No game. Spiller.
What we really need is an offensive line, like teams' offensive line next to these quarterbacks, because I think it's a combination this year in the NFL of backup quarterback play and just seeing offensive line decimated, seems like every week.
Stick throws, and that's Palmer right there. Joshua Palmer holds it in.
Now, zone coverage, you got to be able to layer that ball in over top of the linebackers, and what a great job of showing what he's capable of throwing this football. This is the area that he's improved the most in his 5 years. Came into the NFL as a really good athlete and a playmaker. And he'd be the first one to tell you how much he's worked on that aspect of his game. And that was one of the first chances we've had a chance to see him get the ball thrown downfield, and had to be very accurate, and it was.
Stick to the end zone, and that is hauled in for a touchdown by Alex Erickson. I tell you, you look at Stick's numbers tonight, pretty good. 20 of 28, 242 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's almost a long way from being the story.
A long way. You know, the motion once again helps him. Whenever it comes over, watch the safety. You get motion here, watch the safety come down, and that changes the coverage. And he has to see that as the ball is being snapped, so it opens up that glance route, that skinny post there for a touchdown. So good job of seeing that after the motion. Tough thing to do for a guy without a lot of experience, but he saw it cleanly and made a great throw.
Extra point by Dicker is good. 8.5 to go in the fourth. 63-14. Who would have figured?
17 miles an hour, I think or was it 14 or 17? I think it got up to 17.
Yeah, 17.
17 miles an hour.
Yeah. It's like Formula One when they got here. He's next. A yard in. Carter takes it back to the 24. What you got?
It's been a kind of an unusual night as far as these touchdowns. You know, here's a direct snap where they end up getting some great blocks, and Brandon Bolden takes it into the end zone. Here's a little orbit motion, and we see Myers. He had 2 throws tonight. That one was for a touchdown. This is the sack by Kuntz, and Vic Jenkins with the touchdown. And this play right here, unbelievable job, one-handed. Good job of recognizing that. Jack Jones takes it into the end zone, and even Mark Davis cannot believe some of these touchdowns he's seen, going all the way up to 63 points.
He's going, where was some of this last week?
No doubt.
Meanwhile, they're still throwing here. Yeah, Devontae Adams up to the 29-yard line. So, in the NFL championship game, 1940, they won 73-0 Washington. 72 against the Giants, and 66. Dolphins 70 this year against Denver, and the Rams back in 1950 at 70 in a game. 2nd down and 3. Buying time, throwing, broken up. Do it again. Jack Jones. They do it again. His way very much tonight. 3rd down and 3.
He's locked in that time to Devontae Adams on an option route, but the Chargers took him away. They kind of him bracketed. They had 2 different defenders on the outside and the inside. That's why he had to come off of that. And he's not the most nimble. You know, he's not a statue back there, but he is able to get away from some pressure. That time he did, and just a nice play by Derwin James.
This is the mic. Monday.
And they stop him short of the 1st down. That's Abdullah, making it 4th down and 1. And even though the crowd wants them to go for it, they will not.
There's no way they're booing.
Oh, no way. No way. They want to see, they want to see 70.
Yeah, we still have a little over 7 minutes to go.
Yeah.
So.
That's insult to injury, though. You throw in at this point in the game.
But with all these unusual touchdowns, you never know how they may score.
But of course,
you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Well, you can erase a 49-point deficit in 6 minutes. Caught at the 18. Darius Davis got one man to beat, and he'll beat him. And Darius Davis will take it to the end zone. But there's a flag. Flag near midfield. Raiders are already signaling it's against the Chargers.
During the return, holding by the return team, number 84. The penalty is 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Los Angeles keeps the ball. 1st and 10. Timeout on the field.
That's on Stone Smart and negates what would have been an 83-yard touchdown return. 6:53 remaining. There it is. There's the penalty. Racine. Ball at the 45-yard line.
So why do you say it? Is it just how high it goes up?
Oh yeah, but I mean it's just the visuals. I mean, you know, U2 was playing and they look very, you know, tiny compared to the rest of it. It's hard to explain.
There's no
it's been
foul
written about a lot.
Yeah, how are your seats?
In the vicinity.
Very good. They were fine. By the way, there are no bad seats in there because so much of the action is above you. So even if you're nosebleed, you're still in a good place.
But you said it has to be a band, right? It can't be.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question.
But I mean, you came out raving the next week.
It's amazing. Everybody who's been there.
You got to get over there.
There it is. They have all kinds of stuff going on outside. They have a big old eyeball that looks at you from time to time. It's crazy, man. It is crazy. But it's Vegas too. Hey.
It's out there on its own.
Just a block and a half off the strip. Not bad. Good luck parking. You got to walk over there. 3rd and 5. Stick throws caught. 1st down. Making that grab is Joshua Palmer. Tackled by Tyler Hall.
The combination of Max Crosby and a lot of the starters up front being out and also just softer coverage has given Stick a chance to be able to operate a little bit more better and with more time. Softer coverage, just hitting a lot of these slants and underneath routes.
With a game like this, you know, Max can spend some time on the bench, which he normally doesn't do.
Probably bummed out about it.
Probably. Coming in, he played 97% of the snaps. And tonight it's probably in the 70% range. There's Joshua Kelly taking it inside the 40.
Again, I know a lot of everybody in the NFL works hard, but every time we talk to him, I'm always taken back on the commitment that he makes. He even talked about how it's tough for him to go on vacation because he has to have all his food prepped, and it's hard to do that when he goes on vacation. And he is obsessive about. He said he starts around January 30th, and he cranks from there.
To the outside, getting around the edge, and picking up the 1st down. Joshua Kelly. Kaylee, what you got now?
Guys, I asked around trying to find the best description of what it's like to face Max Crosby on the field. Austin Eckler, who was doing it tonight for the 8th time, he said, imagine a ferocious werewolf trying to stalk its prey, which is the quarterback, and it's just nonstop until the whistle blows. That's what Crosby is. He is just relentless. And Eckler did credit his former offensive coordinator, Joe Lombardi, for coining that term, werewolf.
Kaylee, I'm glad you're still down there. I thought you may have bailed on this.
1st down here. Everett makes that catch.
Now, how about how he referenced going back to Rod Marinelli, who he had in his first few years while he was here. He said, you know, I don't really, I mean, I study who I'm going up against, but I'm too busy studying myself. And I, you know, whether it's practice or games, always trying to look at where's a weakness, where's a strength, where can I get better? And he referenced Rod Marinelli as the guy that really helped teach him that early in his career.
Yeah, he had to turn it around. He's very open about alcoholism, all the problems he had, and he's completely come out the other side. And a flag here. Might have been Nick Van Nett moving.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 97 jumped into the neutral zone and caused the offensive player to move. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Janaris Robinson.
They're really excited about Janaris Robinson and, of course, the rookie Tyree Wilson. They think that, you know, Max Crosby gets a lot of attention from opposing offensive line and pass protection. Kuntz, another one. So you have 3 other guys that I think they feel can win one-on-one.
Little flip here. Spiller. And he gets slung down. Mary Burney, rookie out of Florida, 6th-round pick, is the guy who made that tackle. Under 4 to go. Some room inside the 10. Spiller to the 6-yard line.
The one thing about Spiller, he will show you great patience. I think that's the area that he grew at when he was at Texas A&M. He's more of an outside zone runner. So I think he's always shown that ability to kind of just press it, wait, and then find that crease and hit it.
This is the second charge timeout. Las Vegas, this is a 30-second timeout.
Well, take advantage of the timeout to show you the playoff picture one more time. Ravens